Hello everyone, and welcome to Enhancing Resiliency with Windows 365 session. My name is Andrej. I'm a senior product manager, and I'm here with my colleague and friend Doug, who's a principal product manager on the team. The topics we want to cover today are importance of resiliency for Windows Cloud solutions in customer environment, and then to focus on key features we provide customers for disaster recovery, point-in-time restore, and cross-region disaster recovery. Business continuity and disaster recovery is a critical aspect of any organization's operational strategy. It ensures that essential business functions can continue during and after a disaster, and that data and systems can be recovered quickly and efficiently. For example, the CrowdStrike outage we're all aware of last year had a major impact on Windows devices, causing blue screen errors and application crashes. Microsoft and CrowdStrike work together to mitigate these issues and provide support to affected customers, of course. Detailed guidance, playbooks, and communication templates were created to help troubleshoot and resolve these issues. This incident highlighted the importance of effective incident management, communication, but also a disaster recovery solution during such outages. For Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop, resilience and fast recovery are key tenets in our solution. Automatic infrastructure for resilience and redundancy ensures the highest level of business continuity with minimal effort required. Built-in business continuity and disaster recovery doesn't require a BCDR expert, so pretty much any IT admin can easily set it up and manage. And finally, redundancy across various infrastructure layers, data centers, and geographies ensure high availability. Now let's talk about the three different aspects of the resiliency in the next few minutes. Let's start with the built-in service resilience. Both of our solutions, like I mentioned, Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop, use a common connectivity platform that takes advantage of Azure's global infrastructure. The platform has instances all over the world with multiple clusters running in each region, so there's no single point of failure. Each cluster works independently to handle failures, ensuring low latency and quick recovery from disruptions. Windows 365 also has a dedicated management platform that you can see at the bottom of this slide. The system also distributes across multiple Azure regions, uses globally redundant storage, region-replicated databases, and, well-known, Azure Resilient Services. And this infrastructure is fully managed by Windows 365, so you don't have to worry about architecting, deploying, or managing complex VDI infrastructure. Now let's shift to the second aspect of our resiliency solution, point-in-time restore. We've heard this from you again and again. Disaster recovery is a critical consideration for any IT endpoint strategy. And since its launch, Windows 365 has provided built-in options for business continuity and disaster recovery. With the built-in point-in-time feature, we make it easy for you to take your cloud PC back to a specific earlier state. The point-in-time restore is used to solve operating system issues, user errors, admin errors, update errors, like for example CrowdStrike I just mentioned, and over 95% of Windows 365 customers self-helped using point-in-time restore. Then long-term restore points help with scenarios like malware as well. IT admins can set up automatic restore points at regular intervals, or they can configure them on demand for the individual cloud PCs. They can restore a single cloud PC or multiple of them using the bulk actions supported in Intune. And you can allow your users to restore their own cloud PCs if needed. And if restore is initiated and the current infrastructure is unavailable, Windows 365 will automatically relocate that recovered cloud PC in the alternate healthy infrastructure within that same Azure region to ensure data residency as needed. No additional steps are required from admin or end users for that to be resolved. This ensures seamless recovery in case you have an outage. Let's see a couple of pre-recorded demos of how all of this works. We'll start with a demo of configuring point-in-time restore and restoring the cloud PC. For setting up point-in-time restore, you go to Devices, Windows 365, and select User Settings tab. From here, you can edit existing user settings or you can add a new one. We'll add a new one. And here, you can do two things. You can allow end user to initiate the restore service if you want to allow them to initiate restore from their clients. And you can also select the frequency of the restore point service. The default is 12 hours, but you can select anything between 4 and 24 hours. Keep in mind that whatever setting you set up here, it'll have effect on new cloud PCs as well as existing cloud PCs. The next thing you will do in setting up a new user setting, you will add groups of users that you want to use this user setting. Now, in case of an actual outage, you can restore devices as administrator by, again, going to Devices, Windows 365, and selecting All Cloud PCs. From list of all cloud PCs, you would select the cloud PC that you want to restore. Once in a selected cloud PC, you can press the Restore icon and select the restore point you want to restore to. Once you finalize your restore point, click the Restore at the bottom here, and the cloud PC will then be restored to the point in time you selected. Finally, if the user is allowed to do their own point-in-time restore in the Windows app or any other client they might have, the user can click three dots, select Restore, confirm that they want to restore their cloud PC, specify the restore point they want to restore to, and then they can restore to their point-in-time restore. Admins can restore individual cloud PCs, but they can also perform a bulk action to restore multiple selected cloud PCs at once. Let's look at a demo of bulk action. Besides restoring individual devices, it is also possible to perform a point-in-time restore on multiple devices at the same time. To do that, we need to go to Devices, All Devices, and Bulk Device Actions. There we have to select the operating system, device type, which is Cloud PC, and the device section, which is Restore. Then we have to specify date and time for which we want closest snapshots to be restored, and we can select whether we want before that time, after that time, or whichever is closest to that time. After that, we have to select whether we want to select individual devices for the bulk action, or we want to apply this action for all members of selected group. Let me go ahead and select individual devices, and then I can select any devices available in my tenant for the restore action. I select these devices, and once I create the bulk device action, all devices will be restored to the point in time that was closest to the time that I selected in the first action. Point-in-time restore for Windows 365 is a vital feature for ensuring the resiliency and continuity of cloud PCs. But that is just the beginning of the Windows 365 resilience story. Doug will now introduce the next level of disaster recovery and explain how you can ensure business continuity even in case of regional outage. Doug, over to you.
Thank you, Andrej. Really appreciate the intro. As he mentioned, I'm Doug Coombs. I'm a principal product manager in the Windows Cloud Experience team with Azure Virtual Desktop and Windows 365. Andrej went over some of the really great features in point-in-time restore, multiple storage copies in the zone for your cloud PCs, and all of the resiliency brought to you by Azure. We have another entire series of business continuity and disaster recoveries that are optional for customers that need a higher level of resilience. So these may be customers such as healthcare, finance, and government. So with all Cloud PC Windows 365 solutions, there's a financially backed SLA of 99.9%. But that doesn't mean that all of the use cases are the same in terms of that SLA. In some cases, we need to have a copy of the data in a geographically dispersed location from the primary cloud PC. In other cases, I need a very high resilient and high performant recovery for critical users or users that are covered by regulatory requirements. So in Windows 365, we have two optional solutions: cross-region disaster recovery and Windows 365 Disaster Recovery Plus. Cross-region disaster recovery makes a copy of the latest restore point from point-in-time restore and copies that to a region of your choosing. We leave the region that the copy is made to you, as you're the expert in where your users are connecting from, your data requirements, and so forth. So you'll always have the opportunity to choose any backup region supported by Windows 365. The restore time objective, which is the amount of time required for all of your users to be restored during an outage, is a maximum of 4 hours with cross-region disaster recovery. And the restore point objective, the amount of data that might be lost, is 4 hours. Additionally, when using cross-region disaster recovery, there are 3 copies of the restore point made in the alternate region. So at the end of the day, you have 6 total copies of your cloud PC, 3 in your primary region and 3 in your remote target region. Let's talk about Windows 365 Disaster Recovery Plus for a moment. Windows 365 Disaster Recovery Plus takes all of the advantages of cross-region disaster recovery of targeting a far distant geographical region with enhanced performance. Instead of a 4-hour restore time objective, the restore time objective becomes under 30 minutes. The restore point objective changes from a minimum of 4 hours to 60 minutes. And also, with cross-region disaster recovery, there has to be capacity available at the time of an outage for a successful recovery to occur. With Windows 365 Disaster Recovery Plus, the allocated resources are available from the time that you configure your device. So if and when there is an outage, that capacity is already reserved for you. You don't need to worry about whether or not there's capacity at that time. When we think about implementations of Windows 365 disaster recovery, often customers are using a funnel approach. About 80% of users for most organizations are completely covered by point-in-time restore, which is core to all cloud PC systems. As I mentioned, some users, because of either business or regulatory requirements, have to have a copy of their cloud PC in a region that is geographically distant from their primary region. In this case, cross-region disaster recovery fits the bill and allows you to recover if the capacity is available. Finally, there are a small subset of users that sometimes require higher levels of resiliency, including a faster recovery time, guaranteed capacity at the time of failure, and a lower RPO. For those users, the Windows 365 Disaster Recovery Plus is the solution that you would use. We've recorded a few demonstrations for Windows 365 optional disaster recovery, including Windows 365 cross-region disaster recovery and Windows 365 Disaster Recovery Plus. The first demonstration is one for configuring the service. Windows 365 optional disaster recovery is activated for cloud PCs in bulk actions. You may activate and deactivate both cross-region disaster recovery and Disaster Recovery Plus, whether there is or is not a regional outage at any time. You may want to activate or deactivate one of the optional disaster recovery services if you've changed your configuration or if you're just configuring in order to verify that the functionality is working. Also, you may want to do regular tests to make sure that nothing has changed in your environment that would negatively impact optional disaster recovery. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and go into bulk actions. And inside of bulk actions, I'll choose the operating system that we'll be using. Obviously, with Windows 365, we'll be selecting Windows. And then we'll choose Cloud PCs. After choosing Cloud PCs, I'm able to choose the device action that I want to take. In this case, optional disaster recovery plus. And then I'm able to choose the specific action, whether that's activate or deactivate cross-region disaster recovery or activate or deactivate disaster recovery plus. In this case, I'll select disaster recovery plus. When I select a specific option, only the devices that are available for that option by being configured and licensed will show up when I select a device. I'm able to select individual devices, or I'm able to apply the action across a group. I'm going to go ahead and select individual devices and add a device. As you'll notice, there are 2 devices that are available. And if you recall from the previous demonstration of the status report, I had 3 devices configured. The reason there are only 2 available is because one of them is already in an active state for Disaster Recovery Plus. I will go ahead and choose one of these devices and then just say next and create in order to activate Disaster Recovery Plus. I'm able to do this for any set of devices that I choose, and then I'm also able to deactivate in the same way. So I'm able to quickly activate and deactivate large number of devices in case of an outage. So now that we've configured Windows 365 Disaster Recovery Plus or Windows 365 Cross-Region Disaster Recovery, we'll want to monitor those configurations and make sure that everything is running well, and also be able to tell what state our machines are in case we need to activate or deactivate. So that's done with our monitoring report, which we'll go ahead and look at now. After configuring optional disaster recovery in Windows 365, you'll want to be able to monitor your environment to see whether or not the environment is healthy and how it's configured. This can be accomplished by going into Intune, entering Reports, Cloud PC Overview, and entering the Cloud PC optional Business Continuity and Disaster Recovery Status Report. Inside of this report, we're able to see the device name, the user, whether or not the device is healthy. If there's a license assigned, we'll go ahead and sort this top to bottom to see that some devices here do have cross-region and disaster recovery assigned. You're also able to see if disaster recovery has been activated for any of the devices. In this case, we can see that this device does have disaster recovery currently activated. You're also able to see the current restore point, which represents the effective RPO for this configuration, and the backup CPC status. In other words, is the device ready in terms of Disaster Recovery Plus, since those devices are fully allocated? In the case of cross-region, the backup CPC status will not be set until there is an outage and an attempt is made to recover. You're also able to check how the device is configured by clicking on the user setting and moving into the user settings where optional disaster recovery is configured. We've already provided a demonstration on configuring optional disaster recovery, so you should already be familiar with how to configure inside of the user settings. In the case of a disaster recovery event, you'll need to quickly activate and then deactivate the disaster recovery services. I'm going to go ahead now and demonstrate how any administrator with just a few clicks can recover their entire environment of Windows 365 devices. In this session, we're going to go ahead and look at how Windows 365 optional disaster recovery options are configured. Windows 365 offers cross-region disaster recovery and disaster recovery plus for organizations that need some devices or all devices protected beyond the standard point-in-time restore. Optional disaster recovery in Windows 365 is configured under Devices and Windows 365. Inside of the Windows 365 blade, you can go to User Settings, and you're able to add a new user setting or edit an existing user setting in order to set up optional disaster recovery. I'm going to go ahead and just edit the existing user setting. And you'll notice that in this blade, there's an optional business continuity and disaster recovery settings dropdown. When this is opened, you are able to set either cross-region disaster recovery or disaster recovery plus for your user setting. Each user setting can only use either cross-region disaster recovery or disaster recovery plus. But inside of your Windows 365 tenant, you may use multiple user settings in order to create a mix and match environment of devices that use just point-in-time restore, which is included in the product, disaster recovery plus, and cross-region disaster recovery. After specifying the type of optional disaster recovery you would like to configure, you can choose whether you want to use Microsoft hosted network or Azure network connection. And you're also able to choose the region and geography that you want to set. It's not required to choose a region if you want to choose just a geography similar to in your provisioning profile. Once those settings are set, you're able to choose next. And by setting update, you are changing the configuration for optional disaster recovery for Windows 365 in that user setting. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you joining us for our session. We hope that you've been able to take a few things away on how Windows 365 provides advanced disaster recovery features. Andrej, thank you so much for the great work on point-in-time restore and the demonstrations. Fantastic use cases there. Appreciate everyone joining us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your technical takeoff. Thank you.